Greetings everyone, Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of Favorite Bands A to Z as we are almost done with the month of July and with this particular series. We have done it all throughout July, starting with the letter A. Each day I have picked my favorite artist or band that starts with that letter. If it's the band, it's the first letter of the band name. If it's an artist, the first letter of the artist's last name. I'm picking a favorite album from that band or artist, and I'm also picking a runner-up and a favorite album from them as well. So today, of course, we have landed upon Y. There's only Z left after today. Tomorrow is the last day of July, so probably not a big surprise for my favorite band or artist for Y, right? I think that anybody who knows me or has been watching this channel either a month or the almost 7 years we've been on the air knows that for Y, it's all about Yes, right? One of the great progressive rock bands of all time, and it's got to be close to the edge for me. It's my favorite Yes album. It's perhaps one of the, if not one of the greatest prog rock albums in the history of progressive rock, right? Only 3 tracks needed. The epic length title track, the epic length and You and I, and not quite as epic, but still pretty long, and perhaps my favorite Yes song of all time, Siberian Khatru. This is John Anderson, Rick Wakeman, Steve Howe, Chris Squire, and Bill Bruford. Bill Bruford's last studio album with the band. Well, he makes an appearance on Union years later, but this is the last in his tenure with Yes before he jumped ship to go to King Crimson. As perfect an album as it gets. Just an absolute masterpiece. 3 tracks is all it needs. The opening title track is just an amazing, amazing epic. Of course, if you know the history of the band, that was put together from all these other various pieces that the band was working on in the studio. And of course, you listen to it, it all makes perfect sense. Hard to believe it was just a bunch of ideas thrown together. The lovely And You and I, gorgeous guitar work from Mr. Steve Howe on there, great pedal steel. You've got haunting keyboards, great vocals, and then of course Siberian Khatru is a full-on rock number, man. Just great keyboards, guitars, vocals, drums, and bass, man. Just an incredible, incredible album. It can only be Yes for Y. There was never anything else in question. However, my runner-up was interesting because there are some, there are some bands that start with with Y, an artist, like Jazz Fusion got the Yellow Jackets. You got some cool prog bands, like Yezda Urfa comes to mind. But when it comes down to it, there really is no other choice for Y as a runner-up other than Yesterday and Today, otherwise known as Y&T, right? One of the great melodic hard rock, not really a metal band. I don't think Y&T were ever metal, but a great, great hard rock band from the West Coast, from the San Francisco area, right? They debuted in the late 70s, but of course Y&T were a fairly big deal in the early and mid part of the 80s. A lot of great albums. Mean Streak, Black Tiger, all sorts of other really, really strong albums. But for me, it's always been about Earthshaker, which I think is just a tremendous album, and the one album in their catalog that I think doesn't get enough credit. This comes before Black Tiger and Mean Streak, which were the 2 bigger albums for the band. But man, this has got Hungry for Rock, Dirty Girl, Dirty Girl. What a great vocal from Dave Meniketti, a really, really great singer and a terrific guitar player. Shake It Loose, Squeeze, Rescue Me is terrific. Young and Tough, the Barnstorm and Hurricane, Let Me Go, Knock You Out, another great rocker, and then my favorite Y&T song of all time, And I Believe in You. Great song to end this album. It's kind of ballady, but it's just so heavy, and man, just it builds and builds and builds as the song goes on. A terrific guitar solo, killer vocal. Y&T's Earthshaker. I can't speak this morning. Y&T is my runner-up. Yes, and Close to the Edge is my winner, and my runner-up Y&T. There you have Y. Tomorrow is Z. Which acts or bands is Pete going to pick for tomorrow? It's actually not that difficult. I knew the first 2 bands instantly. It's just a matter of which would be number 1, which would be the runner-up. So, and I think I originally was going in one direction. I think based on some things that have happened this week, I think I'm going to turn it around a little bit. So we'll see. We'll see tomorrow how I feel tomorrow morning. I generally don't make decisions on these final decisions. I mean, some of these are predetermined, but for the most part on kind of the tricky ones, I sometimes change my mind the morning of. So we'll see. But on Z, I think I've made a decision. So you'll have to wait and see tomorrow morning. So visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please list your favorite band or artist, starting with the letter Y and a runner-up in the comments below, and your favorite albums by each. We got one more day of this, and then, of course, we move into Forgotten Favorites each and every day throughout the month of August. So basically every day I'm going to be picking out some kind of cool, rare album from maybe a pretty obscure band that I really like a lot, or maybe a more obscure, less talked about album from a band we all know and love. The thing is here, okay, that this is maybe not as much of an audience participation type of thing, but it should be, because basically if you haven't heard the album that I'm discussing, go listen to it and then report back in the comments and let us know what you think about my recommendation for the day. Okay, that's kind of where we're going with this. Most of these albums that I'm going to be talking about, you can probably listen to here on YouTube or somewhere else. So it's going to be all about that. And it's kind of like bringing to light some cool obscurities, some lesser talked about albums, and revisiting them. So that we're doing throughout the month of August. And then I'm sure in September we'll get back to something else that's like, you know, me and viewer participation every single day. So stay tuned for that. Probably going to do something with live albums at some point, because I know we love talking about live albums here on the channel. So stay tuned. We've also got the debut in just over a week of the new album assignment show. More news to come on that. That should be a lot of fun. We got our first episode happening. That's probably going to air every Sunday. So stay tuned for that. Either Saturday or Sunday, something like that. And Hudson Valley Square is coming up on Monday in the Prague Seat. On Tuesday, Wednesday is What's Hot with Sea of Tranquility Day, new product reviews. Thursday, the Monsters Den, and of course Friday at the Funhouse with Martin Popoff. So lots of cool stuff happening each and every day here on Sea of Tranquility. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Click on that notification bell so you get alerted to all of our content as it's being published on YouTube. The link to our Ko-Fi page is below as well if you want to make a channel donation to help us keep buying more music and stuff, to have stuff to talk about, filling in gaps in catalogs, to do more rankings, get new stuff, you know, all that sort of thing, buy new equipment when needed. We also have the link to our merch page, where you can get all sorts of cool new and existing Sea of Tranquility t-shirts and hoodies and hats and caps and stickers and coffee mugs and all that sort of stuff. We got the Monsters Den, we've got Hudson Valley Squares, in the Prague Seat, with my other channel of Comic Book Geezers. We got stuff there too. So yeah, and the link to our website, www.seatranquility.org, because we're on Facebook and we're also on Twitter. But we're here on YouTube, most importantly, all the damn time. I am Pete Pardo. Have a good weekend, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow morning with the last episode of Favorite Band A to Z. So, see you then. Bye-bye.